Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm laughing. I can't even get the intro out right. I was trying so hard to maintain some kind of a negative attitude coming in because I had like this scheduled rant and I wanted full anger. And then I botched the whole intro and I had my 5-minute timer didn't go. I think you guys got like a 1-second timer and almost like thinking, is the show even starting today? What's going on? Anyway, I screwed everything up. Looks like my mic's peaking a little bit. I'll turn that down. Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Pitstop. Amir Assad over there with me today. How you doing, Amir?
Doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible, I tell you.
You're all happy and giddy and you're like, I'm doing terrible.
I just can't even keep a straight face. You know, maybe we'll get.
How are you terrible? Do we need to have a therapy session with everybody?
Damn near. We do. Except it already has happened. Our community is so awesome. I got to tell you, so I'll show you my personality when we get to the rally stream if I can cue it up. I should have queued it up.
I remember that.
But if you know me, if people know me well, you'll know when I get to my worst moment, my rebound happens very quickly. Like, I'm really not good when I'm just like a little bit upset. When I go full rage mode, it's amazing how quickly I recover and come back. And so anyway, I can go and then when I bottom out, I do recover really well. So that's already happened. And so now I'm just going to make it a very, very, very short thing. I sold a Moza wheelbase on eBay, and I sold it as a V2. And anybody who knows the Moza lineup, you'll notice the easy way to tell a V1 from a V2 is the layout of the pins on the inside of the quick release, where it plugs in. The V1 had a straight line, the V2 had a cross, and that allowed it to communicate to such wheels like the Lamborghini wheel, okay? Anyway, I sold it, I shipped it, and I get an email from eBay saying they've already hijacked the money, they're printing a shipping label at my expense, and I got the message from the buyer who says, hey, I bought this because you said it's a V2, but it's a V1. eBay gives me no recourse. I'm already out, it'll be about $70 round trip. And anyway, and it's going to be a long rant. I'll make it real simple. This isn't the first time this exact thing has happened. I had somebody say, oh, this is a broken product. It was actually a Club Sport wheel, the Formula wheel. Well, I got it back. And I don't know if you guys remember when I did the pineapple grip review. That was the same Club Sport rim that had been returned to me. That's how broken that wheel was that I literally put pineapple grips on it and used it and then ended up selling it. Anyway, F eBay, and it's the last time I'll ever do commerce with eBay in my life. I that's it. I'm done. I've had 3 bad experiences and it's over. So that's it. Now, let's turn this around, because again, the riot had already happened, and the rage is already gone. I want to talk about our community real quick, and just how awesome our guys are. I mean, like yesterday during the stream, I mentioned that it was just in Discord chat. I mentioned that I am no longer making cookies, because my brother's changed his diet. He's cutting back on his sugar, and so he said, hey, I don't want you to make cookies anymore. Well, I already make a half batch, and I can't eat enough of them to finish off a half batch even. They go stale, and I don't like throwing food away. So I just stopped making cookies, which is totally bummer. Anyway, the real cool part of the story is that, David S. sent me a message saying, hey, if your brother's trying to be sugar-free, this is an awesome dessert option, and gave me a recipe. And we might try it for my brother even, but it's just how cool is it that all I did was talk about my brother being low sugar, and one of our friends in our community comes over and immediately is like, hey, I got an idea for you. Another great example, I talked about my shoulder pain. Larry McDonald, another community guy, sent me saying he was having a very similar issue and went through a surgery not related to my issue, but a shoulder thing. And sent me these really awesome ice pack suggestions on Amazon, and then this TENS unit, and it was once again, all I did was mention something, and people hit me up with a message. So that is my plea to anyone out there who isn't part of our Discord community. Type in !Discord right now. Look in the description of the show, you'll find a link. But that's how cool. It isn't just sim racing. It is just we're all hobbyists with a lot of shared
Hmm.
interests, and that's why we hang out together. And because it goes way beyond just sim racing. So anyway,
100%, man.
that is my
I got
full
a,
circle.
I got a suggestion for you for sweets that are actually really good.
Yeah.
You probably you I don't know if you liked it. Black bean brownies.
Oh, that sounds dreadful.
I know, but hear me out, dude. We try because we're trying to cut back on gluten, right? Trying to cut back on like processed, stuff and everything. Trying to get healthy, and like we're looking for stuff, and we're like I've heard, you've heard of avocado brownies or, stuff to get rid of, the processed flour out of your diet. And
Right.
I've tried it before, and like, I was like, oh, okay, instead of avocado, it actually tastes really good. And then we saw a recipe for black bean brownies with, chocolate black bean brownies. Dude, they came out so freaking good. You don't even taste the bean flavor or anything on it. Like you got to add some extra stuff, like a little bit of balsamic vinegar and some stuff to get rid of the bean flavor. But dude, they came out so soft and moist. Like, dude, it blew
Moist.
me away. Like how good they were, moist, right? But yeah, there's a tip. I mean, if yeah, I don't know, like if people are trying to get away from that enriched chemically processed flour, that's another option that's out there, man. Because yeah, I'm trying to do that, man, like so I can start feeling, and I'm like, we've been cutting out gluten from our diet, dude, and I'm starting to feel so much better by staying away from that stuff.
Mm. Now me,
Yeah.
that sounds just not the direction I'm gonna go. No, I'm not trying to cut down on my sugar. I just can't make a batch of cookies. So I
Right.
no no sympathy here needed.
Hmm.
I was like, oh okay, so I went to Baskin Robbins and bought myself a thing of chocolate chip ice cream, which is as simple as chocolate chip ice cream is. If you don't know Baskin Robbins, I mean, like, I would not eat Dryer's chocolate chip ice cream. I'd be like, whatever, just give me vanilla. It's that. Anyway,
Right.
Baskin Robbins chocolate chip ice cream is one of the
Hmm.
greatest ice creams ever made. And anyway, because the chocolate chips are a little bitter and super rich,
Hmm.
I only need a couple bites. And it's like I can is it, like I really like super duper over the top rich chocolate because I can only it's like concentrate, so I can just
Yeah.
like eat one or two bites and I'm satisfied. Anyway, so yeah, I'm doing fine on that. I scream, you scream, we all scream.
You know what else is good from Baskin Robbins?
What?
Their mint chocolate chip ice cream.
You and I do not share a same palate.
You don't like mint chocolate chip?
I do not. I don't like mint flavored.
You don't like what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, you're missing out on life.
I don't argue that. I agree
Dude,
with you.
like,
Like when I watch
like,
those people who like world travel and to try the cuisine of other
yeah.
foods. Oh my god, I'm just like, oh no, no, thank you. I have no diversity in my food.
Oh man, like one of my favorite shows on Netflix is Somebody Feed Phil.
Yeah, I know that show.
Dude, dude, amazing freaking show. And like it's like now, like when we start planning vacations, like I start look, oh, if we're gonna go to this place, let's see if Phil did an episode. So he can go to one of those restaurants or one of those like street food places he goes to, just so he can try it out, man. Like I love that show because it's so wholesome. The guy is always like so happy, so excited to try new things, like always friendly. Yeah. So
See, I'm so basic that like I don't even want them to get too like visionary with a cheeseburger. It's like no
right.
cheddar or American cheese. Like you don't have some fancy cheese. No, I don't need some weird friggin' bun. No, just keep it basic. I'm basic. I can simplify it. I am the
Hmm.
equivalent to like an 8-year old when it comes to food. John knows. John's had to eat with me. I am the equivalent of an 8-year old. I just like okay chicken fingers and fries.
I was about to say, so like instead of like, if you go to like a taco place, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that chicken tinga tacos. I'm gonna grab some of those chicken fingers or the chicken nuggets. Is that what you're saying?
No, okay. So when it comes to Mexican food, there might be a little okay. I'm California. I mean, I
Okay, I was about to say,
yeah,
man. I was about to say, like, the best fish tacos I ever had were in San Diego.
yeah, I don't do fish tacos, but yeah, I'm here.
Oh
I'm
my
with.
god. We gotta culture you, Sean. We gotta culture you.
No culture here. So when you guys wonder why I mispronounce and can't pronounce simple, foreign names and words and things like that, just understand that my diet is hot dog, cheeseburger, and chicken fingers.
Dude, that means like if I bring you out here to Germany, dude, you're gonna starve to death.
Oh, for sure. Well, no, it would just be a lot of wieners and
Schnitzel.
Sauerkraut.
Oh, sauerkraut.
Christian knows the San Diego fish tacos. That's right.
Yeah, the waiter comes to our table like, I'll order it, and it's like, Sean, what do you have? I'll have the Wiener Schnitzel. Thank you.
Three. No, nothing on the side. Just some sauerkraut.
With some hummus.
Oh,
All right, cool.
and bring me every mustard you've got. That'd be my thing.
I will say German mustard is some of the best mustard I've ever had.
Well, and that would be my thing. It would be like, oh, I'm fine, dude. Just I'll try different types of sausages and every mustard they have in every establishment. I'll be fine. They probably have some kind of fried potato, right?
Well, so then you would enjoy Bavaria, like a good Bavarian breakfast.
Yeah, but I'd be very selective about what I eat.
Because it's usually like they'll do eggs, bread, sausage, like the big brat sausages, like a white pepper, brat, sausage, and some freaking heavy wheat beer.
I don't drink beer, but other than that, everything sounded great.
Yeah, you'll need a nap after that. I did it once. I'm like, oh crap, I can't move for the rest of the day. I'm done. Like, yeah, dude. It's just such a heavy breakfast.
Let's see here. I'm trying to queue up my. Oh, it's right before this. All right, here I'm gonna play something.
But before we do that, we haven't said our hellos to everybody.
All right, you want to get?
Or
some
unless you want to do this first.
No, go. You get some hellos going.
Get some hellos. All right, let's find the moment for where you were, and I'll say the hellos. So let's go down our list of everybody that's here. Alesh Mom, hi buddy. Devin Booth is here. Pit Callum. Then we got Alesh Mom. Caitlin's here. We also got Ian Marshall, Doug Hawley, Wout Van Mork. He's sitting there watching the spa hyperpole that's going on right now. Sean Cobb. We got Dirge and Daenerys. I don't know if she's watching with you, Dirge. We got Connor. Who else we got? We got Turge, John Hill. I'm going through all this list. Heiko's out here. Brandon Carl. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a great Friday. And, we're here to kick off a great weekend. A spa 24-hour weekend with here in the Simpit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. So, not a lot of production this week from me.
Me neither.
I already have to redo one part. I got stuck with trying to improve my studio again. And there are a few things. I just got sick of moving things around. Things were in my way. I had this wall project that I wanted to do that used to be in the window, but couldn't go in the window. All of a sudden I got a bug up my butt, and it just took forever to get. So I had to build a shelf unit, which everyone laughed at.
What? Who laughed at your shelf unit? Talking about the
laugh wasn't question was better.
Oh.
They're questioning the strength of my shelf, which was holding a ridiculously large computer and a ridiculously large widescreen monitor.
Ah.
On what looked like which looked like a floating shelf.
Like, you're Mr. DIY,
I am the king of DIY.
right?
Why would you
Like,
question me?
how
I
many
know.
people?
I got
How
this,
many people have built DIY rigs because of you? I mean, they're called Deathmobiles for a reason, but
That's
anyways.
right. Now, I know of a couple of Deathmobile upgrades that are going on or have happened. Devin Booth, I'm going to have some shots of his new setup. And Andrew White is going from his Deathmobile to a track racer, I believe. So, yeah, some upgrades from Deathmobiles. Anyway, you guys want to hear funny? Nah, we'll never get to the news. When I
I don't think there's a lot anyway.
When I reviewed the monkey rig, the rig I'm sitting in, all right, they had sent me the extras, the add-ons for this rig, like a full month before I got the rig, and they never said they were sending them. So I got what was just called the FGT Pro monitor holder and shifter mount. And I sent them a message, and I'm like, hey, I got these boxes. I'm expecting a rig. They're like, oh, yeah, that was an accident. We're getting you the rig. And I was like, okay. And so I threw them in my closet of hell, and they got buried. And then the rig came in, and then I started doing the review. And it all happened in a real helter-skelter timing and everything. So I was kind of scrambling on the review. Oh, I just noticed I have my Mediterranean logo. Oh, that's never mind. That's my stream. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, so I did the whole review on the FGT Pro, which is the monkey chassis. But in my mind, I just hadn't. I just kept calling it monkey chassis in my brain. It just hadn't clicked that it was the FGT Pro. It was the monkey chassis. Anyway, so I did the full review, and then I'm cleaning out the whole hell closet. And I'm like, what's this? Oh my god, that is the monitor stand for the monkey chassis. Oh, and the shifter mount. I can use those. So I took the monitor off the floating shelf and I put it on the monkey chassis, which is super clean. I'm like, oh, all right. This is a this is the mule, you know? But now the shelf blocks me from being able to tuck it in nicely. So I have to redesign the shelf to hold the computer without the monitor.
Oh, man.
And so I'm going forward and backward. But anyway, I mean, like on the rally stream, David, I think, mentioned that, hey, your camera looks better than normal. Did you get a new camera? And it's like, no, it's the same shitty camera. What it is new lighting. And a little more attention to lighting and what's going on in the background and whatnot. So anyway, you can see, like, right now for this shot even, I think I look better than the last round of pit stops. So yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so...
Because now it's more direct onto you.
It's on to me. The room, the background is a little better. Yeah, I think... So, yeah. Yay! So that's why I've been a little behind on production, but I'm getting there. Tom Jones! Better late than never, buddy. I tell you that. Because it wouldn't be the same show without you. Especially with you and your $2. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a ton. We appreciate it a ton. So, in lieu of little coverage, this is what did happen. I'm going to play this moment from yesterday's rally. Where's my mute here? I don't trust some of those 5 rights, they say. I don't know how cute I got this. We could be here a while.
What was I doing? Because I had you playing in the background. Oh yeah. I was starting work on my center dash. But...
Where is it? It's got to be right. I hate Rally Mediterranean. Alright, here it comes. Here it comes. It's got to be. It's this right-hander right here. Slight right 3. Here we go. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Oh. No. Okay, now look at my reaction. No. I don't know how long I didn't speak for. Look at this. How long do I let the silence go?
You were pretty quiet for quite a while.
Oh, it was a long. I don't know how long.
Yeah.
I was really. I was about to just roar obscenities.
Mm-hmm. You held your calm. You were cool, collected. You know.
Okay. The reason I played that. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
The reason I played that is because. Oh, that looked like it. Maybe that was it. Because later. No, I don't know if I'll be able to find the next moment. But I kind of lost it because a similar thing happened again. And I, instead of being silent, just burst into laughter because it was just, I had already gotten to my bottom out point is what I'm getting at.
Right.
And it was, yeah. Anyway, it was a rough rally. We'll find out at the end of the show how it played out. I limped it home, so here, I'll play this. Look at us.
Into 5 left, slowing 70. Late, 1 left, long.
Wait, I think it gets even slower.
At some point on that final stage, I just was.
Yeah. Anyway, I felt so bad that I just wanted to bring it home because of my teammate. If it had been a solo event, quite honestly, I think I would have just bailed. Sim Expo 2025!
Yeah!
Thank you so much. So, Risk It All Sim Racing. Look at that. I like the way you did that.
Hell yeah.
Here, let me get you the proper.
Wow, very
Risk It All
nice.
Sim Racing. Thank you very much.
I can't wait for Sim Racing, Sim Gaming Expo, and the Sim Expo. I can't wait for both, man. Excited.
Yeah, me too. All right, so I do have other Simpit news. That isn't the only news. My rally, Amir, based on what you guys have asked for, put some work together, and we now have on the Simpit podcast show. He is now putting up things like our Sim Gaming Expo interview with George and Zaldo. He's putting up the Pitstop, the last Pitstop we did, in addition to the Simpit podcast, which we probably need to get around to a new one coming up fairly soon.
Yeah, we haven't done a podcast in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. We always said it would be like Parmesan wine, though. We'll sell no wine before it's time. We'll do no podcast before we have something we're good and ready to talk about.
Right. We should do one now with. Talking about the state of iRacing in 25, LMU, AC Evo. We should do something to kind of get more in depth. Yeah.
We could bring someone in from one of those groups.
Yeah, it just sucks. Like, I know both you and me have been super busy. Like, we just haven't had a lot of free time to get away from the normal stuff we do to do.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and it's summer, which means I have a lot going on outside of sim racing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's summer. I've been waiting for summer, people.
Yeah, same, man. It just this is time for us people get out, man. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago watching Le Mans? Last week I was at Nürburgring. This weekend I'll be at Spa. And then next weekend, we're traveling somewhere. And then, there's so much going
on. All right. Next up, iRacing. Couple things out of iRacing. Number one, we have the 6 Hours of the Glen, which starts tonight. And
we got Simpit.
Sam Hitchie committing as one of the 13 for the Sim Expo Simpit racing event. Thank you, Sam. 12 more, people. We need 12 more. We wanted 15 total. We got me, Amir, and Sam for our event. And if we can get our group signed up early enough, we can figure out what we want to do, too,
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Sam, I know that Sam is running in the 6 Hours of the Glen along with a bunch of Simpit community members. So he and Johnny Alford, Sam, Ola, and Usman Sheik are running the BMW M4 GT3 and Simpit Team Blue. And Simpit Team Orange is going to be Noah Hinton and Johnny Alford. So we wish them all the best of luck in the race and representing the Simpit. So very cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to run this one, and I almost jumped into some of the practices with the guys at the last minute.
Yeah.
But I'm just, again, as you mentioned, time is killing me. I'm not finding myself with much free time right now.
Yeah, man. Same here. If I wasn't going to be at real races this weekend, I would have done it too. But like, I can't. I'm trying to catch as many races live, in person now as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah. But while we're on topic of endurance teams, we're talking. Me and Sam, we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're talking about maybe potentially starting doing some Le Mans Ultimate races too when they start opening them up, because now you can do driver changes, teams. I've already built a Simpit team. So if people want to start doing LMU, the co-op races or endurance races when they start doing them, we're probably going to start trying to do those too. So if people are interested, join our Discord, and we got an endurance channel. Just post a message saying, "Hey, I'm interested," and we can start work on stuff too for that one.
I need to get on board with Le Mans a little more than I am.
So good. It has its issues. Don't get me wrong. It has its bugs, but when you're actually racing, it is so good. But we'll talk about it more later too, because we're gonna talk about the Simpit LMU League too. Awesome. I'm sure you probably got some news on it.
Yep. So
yeah.
Well, no, I don't have news. I have our poster. If you want to send me something for news from what race results.
I don't have anything. I mean, it was just like a last minute fun race, so there wasn't really any.
I'll bring up the schedule. You give us the update on the race. How's that?
I mean, there's not really. because last Sunday, because we were doing a second test of how the events and everything run. So yeah, we did a race at Spa in the GT3s. We had about 10 people that raced with us. It was just in the fun race again, because it's kind of last minute, so we didn't get a lot of people. But it was great. It was fun. Christian Clark came in first place after I disconnected, but I was leading the race, and then my power went out, came back, and dropped me all the way down to the almost last. But yeah, Christian Clark, he was on my tail the whole entire time. Like, he was not letting me breathe at all whatsoever. But it was a lot of fun. We had people show up. It was a lot of fun to come out. And then starting this Sunday, 7:00 Central European time, 10:00 in the morning Pacific time, we'll be starting up our Le Mans Ultimate Fun League. And I don't know if you brought up the picture for it or not.
I did.
But oh yeah, okay. I don't see it. I'm behind. I see what the viewers see.
I've been slow. I've been a little slow.
No, all good. So it's gonna be a mix of events, and again, this is kind of one to have something to do during the summertime. So if people, if you just want to come in, have some fun with us, race, just have some community events going on in our Discord. And then depending on the responses, we could potentially start making a secondary official road series next to our iRacing road series and do that in Le Mans. So this season, this fun race is going to be a mix of GT3, GTEs, LMP2s, the hypercars. So each track will be a different track each week, different classic cars, and then it will culminate in the final race at Le Mans. We had to do Le Mans as the final race, and you just pick whatever car you want and go out on track and have fun with us. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So there you have it. We'll have more of that coming up. I'll remind you at the end of the show as well when we get Simpit racing stuff. All right.
I'm not sure, Driver 69. I'm not sure how good it is. I don't have a Steam Deck, so I don't know anybody that's tried it on a Steam Deck. I've heard it's good on a controller. I just don't know how it is on a Steam Deck.
All right. iRacing is announcing their summer sale, up to 64% on new memberships through July 10th.
Nice.
I'm mentioning this not only because that we're at summer sale time of year, so I believe the Steam summer sale is going on, which basically means every software is on sale, or double check, most software is on sale right now or getting ready to be. And I'm also noticing, and I don't have a lot, hardware companies are picking up on the summer sale vibe. So you might want to tune in. Certain rigs I've seen are on sale, and they're quoting the summer sale, and I think they're just kind of buying into the whole Steam, because Steam's very powerful as far as getting the word out. So tying into that wording and timing of everything being on sale. Summer sale. Summer sale.
Summer sale.
Summer sale. What else? I think I had something else from my...
No,
that was
it.
What?
There's another title on sale.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Well, virtually everything's on sale.
Yeah.
So I believe Assetto Corsa is. I'll scroll up. I think so. But before I get to that, I want to... So Assetto Corsa. Evo, in particular. We have to always differentiate in titles, right?
Right.
The Dallara Group brings the Assetto Corsa Evo to Monza, featuring the Dallara Stradale for an exclusive virtual test drive ahead of its official in-game debut. Debut. Set your best lap time in the simulator and win a passenger ride in the real Dallara Stradale. Find us at Dallara, aka eSport. Basically, this is the hardtop version of the EXP, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody, I think I posted some pictures of the EXP. I never did my Indy vacation trip. But
no, you're supposed to do that video.
Yeah, should I? Is it worth it, or is it too late? Doesn't matter. I don't know.
No, do it, man. Still
do it.
Still do it. Yeah.
All right, I'll do it. Could have done that.
Like I said,
what would this week?
In this question, in this, in circumstances like this, you would have to say, "What would Tom say?" You have to ask yourself that. What would Tom say?
Tom, should I do it?
Sure. Tom would probably say, "Do it." Just do it.
Just do it. I'm not seeing anything about Assetto being on sale. Tom Jones, Indie vacation video is mandatory.
There you go.
Just do it. All right. I'll do that as soon as I finish this show. Oh wait, I'm going to lunch. I'm meeting a buddy for lunch. We're planning out an idea for a show. He's helping me out with something, by the way. All right, Le Mans Ultimate Update 5 Patch 2 came out on the 26th, yesterday. June update was a big one and had a lot of technical changes to allow teams and custom liveries. Thank you for your patience as we get them fixed with your help. Have you learned how to paint in Le Mans yet, Amir?
Yeah, it's the same, almost the same as iRacing. I've already painted 2 cars for the Simpit team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my back is killing me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you just got to learn how to do the spec maps a little bit differently.
Right.
But I mean, the painting itself is virtually the same as iRacing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have some patch notes on things that were fixed, but I mean that was a big update. That was the one that had cars and tracks and all sorts of goodies in it.
Oh yeah.
And so is Le Mans on sale?
Le Mans Ultimate, I don't believe it
I'm not
is.
seeing sale.
Because it's still early. Because it's still early access, so I don't think they could really do sales on early access titles. But it does become official release next month. I can't remember what day in July, but I think like the 19th of July or something like that. It's going to be official release for LMU, where they're going to bring a big patch to fix a lot of things and adds a little bit more stuff to it. Yeah,
perfect timing. As soon as the summer sale ends, we'll go full release.
Yep.
That's thinking.
I know, right?
That is thinking right there. All right,
I mean, it's already on it's already kind of discount right now.
I
think the price will go up once it goes full release. Yeah.
Right. July 25th, says Mr.
There you
Tom
go.
Jones.
Yeah. I was close.
Rita Studios. Exciting news incoming. Turn up the volume. Oh, that sounded like an Indy car to me. Didn't it? Did you hear it?
No.
Can I turn it up more?
No, I think the viewers. I don't know. I have my sound turned off.
I don't know.
So it doesn't,
I think
if I go into the.
I think if I scroll up the... Here it goes. That's an Indy car.
But they already have Indy cars in there. Well, they have the older ones, yeah.
Oh, July 22nd. Tom made a correction. Did you hear it?
It sounds like an IndyCar.
Except for the shift.
Yeah.
And I only say that about the shift
Huh.
because of the at Indy you wouldn't hear shift.
Ooh, no, Carl's actually onto something because I don't know if you have it on your news, but
I scrolled up.
okay, so yeah, they announced a cooperation with the Aston guys.
That is not an Indy car.
No, but I don't know. Okay.
What?
No, go ahead. You good.
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
know,
saying the Aston Martin that I'm looking at here definitely is not an Indy car.
No, but they're bringing the Aston Martin Valkyrie LMDH.
That could have been that.
Yeah.
That might sound like an Indy car, or more like an Indy car, and less like a GT3. Anyway,
Yep.
Ritza Studios, they are thrilled to announce their licensing deal with Aston Martin, bringing several of the iconic brand's legendary models to AMS2 in the coming months. They include the AM Vantage GT3 Evo. You forever changed me. Seen here. And the mighty Valkyrie AMR LMH GTP with its V12 sounds previewed earlier today. So I was so incorrect about an IndyCar that is the sound of a V12, not a V8, by the way. Let's do it again. I was just an Indy. That's what they sound like going by. I'm sorry.
Right.
It still sounded like an IndyCar to me. All right. Let's see here. Anything else from Rita?
There
they had
should
an update.
be.
Yeah.
They have a sale going on
Yeah.
for Automobilista 2.
Yep. Okay. So starting with 19 hours ago, they posted AMS2 version 1.6.5 is now live. The latest update focuses on bug fixes, various improvements to existing car and track content, along with some fresh quality of life developments. Man, what could be better than quality of life development? I would love some quality of life developments before the introduction of new content over the next few weeks. Also, the Unreal Deal Automobilista 2 is 90% off for the first time ever. That doesn't get cheaper. I mean, any cheaper would be giving it away or paying me to take it. So take advantage if the summer sale ends July 10th. If you don't own AMS2, and they're going to have some cool content coming out. Really good sim, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Race Room. Race Room's Q2 2025 update is here. Take the wheel. We've talked about this in build up, so this isn't. It's news that it actually dropped. All right.
Right.
2 new touring cars, the Alfa Romeo 156 and the Opel Vectra, and race through the streets of Almenenring. Obviously, I've never heard of that. New Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2 liveries and GTR3 class. Available now. So, yeah, big update there. Fooled by the V12 again. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm not falling for the extra 4 cylinders again. All right, what else? Is Race Room on sale?
No, usually they're not. They
not.
don't do a sale. Yeah.
All right.
Because you can buy their content separately, like each car separately. Usually, like they'll do a sale maybe on some of the older stuff sometimes, but
Right.
not really like sales like how AMS and all them do it. Yeah.
They just do their own when they send you like their buy a bunch of points for 50% off.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Alamenenring. There you go. Is the most square track ever. Is that right? Did they have a track map?
I don't know.
I don't think they had a track map. That's Red Bull Ring. That's not a track map. I don't see a track map. Square is... It's a squared oval. All right. Would you define Indy as square? Driver 69. EA Sports F1. All right. Version 1.04 of the game releases on Monday, so get ready for that. and we have some patch notes, blah, 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 circuits, vehicles, this improvements and things like that. Breaking point, career mode, stuff like that. Cool. That's good. If you haven't, you should update it on Monday. Now, the real question is, how many days are we, like 4 days away? How many days are we from the movie?
I think it's already out, isn't it?
Is it?
It's already out. Yeah.
Oh, the chapter scenarios are released. Wait, I thought.
Yeah, the movie is already out.
Oh, on the 25th it came out. Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how with it I am on the movie
I
scene.
saw it this week. Yeah.
You saw it already?
Oh no.
I'm
waiting till streaming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm probably.
Yeah. To me, like I can already tell from the trailers, it's kind of a how to say it. I know, like, I know some of the people that love racing movies, like you've watched the movie Grand Prix, right, with Steve McQueen?
Yeah, a billion times.
Yeah, like it's a great movie, like when it comes to visuals and racing and everything like that. But like when you actually look at it, the story's kind of,
Okay.
And that's how I see like the F1 movies, kind of like I get you the visuals, the racing, everything's gonna be freaking amazing, but I think the story's just gonna be kind of like almost kind of like driven, like in a way, like where just the whole movie itself was terrible, but I think here, like the action, the racing, everything is gonna be freaking fantastic. You know, like how Top Gun Maverick was, but the story's gonna be like,
Did you see Gran Turismo the movie?
I did.
Did you like it?
No comment.
Whoa. Okay.
No. Again, visuals were great.
Did you notice that has that movie played on cable yet? I don't think it has.
It was on Netflix a while ago. I watched it on Netflix.
I haven't seen it on HBO or any of those things yet.
For me, I guess because I know the story of Jan Martensen. I know his story so well. So when I went to when I watched the movie, like, this didn't happen. This didn't happen this way.
It is a very Hollywooded outed version of the story.
Well, there's stuff that actually never happened, or they moved events around.
Well, even the whole his parents not being behind him, that was all made
right,
up.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like his crash at the Nürburgring, like a lot of stuff was changed a lot. Like, so to me, it kind of threw me off, maybe just because I know his story so well.
Right.
Where like I couldn't enjoy. Like the visuals are great, the racing was great.
Right. If you read it as a book and then watched the movie, you'd be like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, like I know that like Hollywood, they gotta add drama, they gotta add, flair, because how can we take the story, that's already a 10 and we can pump it up to like, Spinal Tap 11.
You add Amelia what's her name? What's her name? I know her name. Why can't I remember her name? I was gonna call her Amelia Earhart. That's not her name. Hartford. Amelia Hartford.
Oh yeah.
The Corvette racer. Well, she's a lot more than that now, but
yeah.
It's like I don't believe there was a girl in the first competition, by the way.
Yeah. And you said it too earlier, like, and I think it's gonna be the same thing in this, but like, how many racing movies have we seen? And it's always about, if you do this, you'll die. If you do that, you'll die.
Right.
If you don't do this, you'll die.
That was almost verbatim from every movie ever made.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can understand that. I can understand that back in the day. Back in the days of Niki Lauda and in the 60s, 70s, 80s. But like nowadays, like yes, there is some risk of injury. Yes, there is still a risk of death, but like, I don't think all these guys, walk around. Like, I don't think like Lewis Hamilton walks up to like, let's say like Yuki Tsunoda and says like, "Hey, dude, if you do this, you'll die."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what got me in Gran Turismo, like that too. And to a degree in Ford versus Ferrari, but it made sense for that era of racing. And same thing with Rush. Again, it makes sense for that era of racing because death was a common thing back then.
Right.
But nowadays, like, come
I think
on,
they
man,
like to keep that aura alive because
Yeah,
it is a
exactly.
possibility, right? It
Right.
is a dangerous sport inherently,
Right.
but that sells tickets, right?
Yeah.
That makes that risk taking that much more exciting.
Yeah.
Amelia did, yeah, she finished second in class in a really nicely done up Porsche. Amelia Hartford, she's legit. She's badass and she's legit. Amelia, I don't think she still does videos where it shows her like putting the new exhaust on her Lamborghini, but at this point her videos are kind of like truck you, like, oh, here, click and it's done kind of thing. But back in the day, I mean, this girl wrenched and was fully legit and built like one of the fastest ever built Corvettes on planet Earth. So yeah, Amelia deserves the limelight she's getting, and she can back it up with her on track or on dirt talent. She's really impressive, and she's kind of hot. So that's kind of pervy. She's very young. I'm very old.
Come on, Sean.
I'm not gonna say I grabbed her ass. I'm just gonna say she's a really good-looking woman.
Whoa! Now we're gonna be demonetized and kicked off of YouTube.
Damn it!
Well, at least you said grab that and not grab something else. Never mind.
Well, that's.
Oh wait, it's 21st century. You can't assume anymore. Never mind.
Hey, I put it out there so that it's very clear, so there is no misunderstanding or misinterpretation. It's like, no, I am an old perv, but I'm not going to touch you.
Right. Right, Brian. Here, let's write this. Brian's wife. If Brian doesn't sim race tonight, he'll die.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Oh, if he doesn't.
No.
Right.
If he doesn't sim race, he'll die. There we go.
Oh, all right. It's what they need.
Right.
All right. What else? Gran Turismo. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's the 3-car release. Oh, I better turn off the music. Oh, we already got demonetized for Sean being a perv.
Yeah. You already said grab her.
Grab her by the Peugeot. What'd you call it? The Peugeot.
The Peugeot.
I thought you had some weird way of saying Peugeot. Say it right.
Peugeot.
No, you said it differently.
I didn't say it differently.
No?
No.
All right.
Peugeot.
The Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure, that's going to be a European model. I've never heard of it. They only call these C60, V60, V90. They have no imagination for names here in America with Volvos. The Allure, that sounds much more attractive than a C60. It looks like a C40 maybe. Then we got the Citroën. Are you going to fix me on that one?
Citroën.
The BX19 TRS from 1987, because no one could go another day without that in their sim racing garage. And then thirdly, okay, this one's legit. The Lancia Delta HF.
Oh.
Integral. Is that how you say that?
Integrale.
Integrale.
Integrale. Yeah, you're gonna do like this with your hands up, like integrale.
Integrale. Integrale. Yeah, with the hand, with the gesture.
Yeah.
You need to say it like the importance of the Pope.
Yes, you get to say it like the Italians, with the hand and everything.
See, if Gamer Muscle was Italian, I might have a chance at doing a bad impression. I just can't do the British Australian thing, man. I did, yeah. D's nuts. The Peugeot D's nuts.
Grab him by the integrale.
Grab him by D's nuts. Project Motor Racing. You excited?
Ooh, yeah, I am. I saw the video for it, dude. You're gonna have career mode.
Here, let me see.
You're gonna have, which I'm excited for from day one because iRacing's been promising it for years. LMU's been promising it. Still no career mode, and I know some people are very excited for this part, but I'm kind of like whatever. But they're gonna have mods available from day one, mod support. So yeah, it's
Awesome.
shaping up to be. Hopefully it'll be a really good. I don't think it's going to be a very simish or sim kind of game. I think it's going to lean more on the fun and be more of a SimK title. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like if it's fun to drive, I'll still play it.
You can negotiate your sponsors, choose your brand, buy your cars. You can grab them by the Integrale. I like that one, Tom. Anyway, so they're introducing some things. The 25th isn't that when it's going to come out?
No, it's not until later.
Wait.
Yeah, November 25th. Yeah, I think that's what it says.
Okay,
November 25th.
Oh, 2025. Okay. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
It's 25. That's what threw me. So I'm looking at this date, 25, 11, 25. I'm like, that's some kind of fucking typo.
Remember, Europeans do the days and months
Yeah,
opposite than Americans. Yeah,
and somehow it's 2025.
I know.
And we still don't technically have flying cars. We have.
I know.
They're getting here, kind of.
I thought we'd be in the age of the Jetsons by now.
Well, and
for the people that know what the Jetsons are,
well,
if you don't know what the Jetsons are, go YouTube it. But anyways, yeah.
And getting to the flying cars and the Jetsons,
Yeah.
my flying cars wasn't 4 rotating blades. It wasn't a fancy
Right.
quadcopter, right? Was it? Jetsons doesn't say quadcopter. Jet.
Right.
My backpack's got jets. Where is it? All right. 2025. We got nothing. We as much as we have like cool smartphones and Starlink.
Right.
If you really think about it, we are so far off on the projections of all of the futuristic movies and concepts, and it's like we didn't even get to like the bad ones of the 60s level, right? I mean,
Right.
So yeah, we suck. We suck. All right, what else? Oh, but we built the sphere, Andres. I'm not going to diminish the sphere. The sphere's badass. Inside and out. I'd almost go to Vegas just to do the sphere, by the way. That's how good the sphere is. I hate Vegas. I loathe Vegas. Fear and loathing Vegas. But the sphere is almost worth going to. I think I heard they're building one out here in like Southern California. I think.
Is that like the new thing now? Like the new architecture thing that everybody must have is you must have a sphere.
Yeah, but I've heard like questionable whether it's making money or not, and it's like a very tremendous amount of money to offset, like 2 billion cost or something like that. It was like,
right.
It takes a while to, so.
I mean, imagine like you're putting all those LED TV things on the outside to project. I mean, that can't be cheap.
No. And they have to like need some kind of fixing here and there.
Yep.
And then you got some guy going up your sphere. That sounds bad.
Right.
You got some guy going up your sphere with a light.
A bag full of light bulbs. Like, all right, I'm just, all right, put in the new light bulb. All right, we're good to go, guys. Turn it back on. Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, I'd do that job just for the spelunking part. I would do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I climb up to the top and just spelunk down. Like, I change in the light bulbs as you go down. I know it's not light bulbs, But anyway, yeah, it'd be fun. Like,
how do they do that with light bulbs? That's crazy.
I know.
All right.
Here, it's 2025. We use LEDs, not light bulbs.
Yeah, we don't have flying cars, but we have LEDs. We have really messed up auto taxis.
Oh, the Wymos, yeah.
Well, and now Tesla. I heard their Austin rollout was a little weird.
Okay. I don't think. Yeah, they're not allowed here in Europe yet. I don't believe.
Well, because it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually we'll get there. I'm not knocking it as a concept. It's just that right now you look at videos of their abilities and what they do, and some of the really like.
Right.
I mean, like if a human being did that, you get pulled over. You get multiple tickets. They might even question whether you should have a retest on your license.
Yeah, like I remember I was reading some article, some city, and they were talking about the Waymo taxis, and how the residents in that area, because there's this massive charging station for the Waymos, and apparently, yeah, they get so stupid at that charging station because uh like I mean, from what I've seen, what I've heard, like they drive great in traffic and everything like that, but once it comes to doing like specific tasks, like for example now, like waiting to go into the charging station, if this charging station is overcrowded, like they won't drive to another charging station. They'll just
Right.
like sit there and wait.
Log
but
jam.
they'll be parked in a non-parking area. So like the cops walk by and they're like, how do I give a ticket to this driverless car? Or like the residents can't get around like in their cars because the Waymos are just jamming up
Right.
that whole area. Yeah.
Well, my experience, like you said, generally speaking, they do okay in traffic until things go weird, at which point they freak out and panic. But it also seems that Waymo cars do a lot better with like everything but another Waymo car.
Right.
Like two Waymo cars will sit there and have a standoff. Like
Okay.
and I know the little robotic delivery drones, the little rolling carts. That they have, those guys do the same thing. Like if two of those run into each other, they just they don't know how to be considerate and let one go ahead of the other.
Oh, no.
They just sit there in a standoff. Like, no, you go. No, you go. Oh, that's cool.
I heard Domino's uses those now.
Are they, with all sorts of
Yeah,
they're being tested everywhere. Amazon's doing the flying drones. You got the rolling cart drones.
Yeah.
You got the Waymo. You got the Tesla autonomous. And meanwhile, people are losing their life. No, I'm kidding.
Because I know here, at least here in Germany, like they haven't been testing any. I don't think they're even like allowing them to test that stuff here. So like all I hear is like whenever I see in the news, like decide like, oh crap, I'll waste 10 minutes of my life checking the news, and like I see little articles about that. Like, oh crap, that's kind of cool. But I mean, when do we eventually get to the point where no one's even driving anymore? Because even like I won't use a certain manufacturer because that will make Alesh mad. But like, what if now like Ferrari has self-driving cars? Like, hey, I own a Ferrari, guys, but I can't drive it because it self-drives by itself. Like, are we ever going to get to that point where like, we now own sports cars that we can't even drive because it's a self-driving car because humans have been deemed too dangerous to drive cars?
Well,
now we have to let AI do it.
I think that honestly, I'm very anti AI driving because I just don't feel it's been put through proper trials. So like, can you build an artificial city and put some things out there and show me that it works flawlessly before I put them out there with human lives? All right, because these companies don't care about a like $1 million lawsuit for a but if I'm the I'm really upset because I don't care if my brother gets $1 million, right? like I'm glad if I'm gone because of that he does, but I'd rather just be here still. So I don't accept that until it's proven better. Like public trials is not the way to go, in my opinion. Now, with that said, I think we're this close to the technology being that proven and reliable. But what an infringement on my ability and right to have a car. Now, with that said, I think in big cities like LA, New York, San Francisco, I honestly think they're going to have to go to it because traffic I'm guessing, and don't quote me on these numbers, but I'm guessing traffic could be reduced by like 50 to 70% by efficient AI travel. So if people didn't have to brake check or do funky merges, I think that the overall, and then that equals billions of dollars in commerce because we all get to work sooner. So I think in big cities, in high density areas, it's going to be a must. But they can't do it until everything is, because what are you going to do? Let some moron with a semi truck come into that and mess up the beehive? So I don't know how quick it could be implemented. I just think that eventually, and I don't know if it'll be here in America. It might be more like in China, but someone's going to have to build a futuristic city that is built to be this way from the very beginning. Because I don't know, like, you can't do that to LA. Like, how do you
Right.
do
They're
that to
kinda-
LA? It would take 20 years to do it,
Yeah, they're kind of doing that in Saudi Arabia. They're
right?
calling it
Oh,
the Line City,
yes,
where it's going to be
yes.
completely carless, but there's going to be like all sorts of self-reliant
Travel pods and things.
travel, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I would love to be a part of designing and building a futuristic city of tomorrow. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like again, then you can get a whether they're AI driven or not. But the cars don't need to carry the batteries anymore. It can be in the power grid in the streets and everything. You can
right.
reduce waste in tremendous levels that way, and the efficiency because the amount of weight savings. Traffic could be non-existent or for the most part. So yeah, I think we'll get there. It seems to me that humankind likes big cities so much
Right,
that it has to be. Now, for a
right.
lot of us, we don't want to be in the big city and we don't want any part of that. And luckily, there's a lot of planet Earth, right?
Yeah,
So, I don't think that Iowa will ever be, no offense to Iowa, but I don't think Iowa will necessarily ever be some like super futuristic power grid city because it's just not necessary,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think about like I just think about it now. Like, we eventually get to a point where, no humans are ever allowed to drive anymore, because now AI is so good at getting people from point A to point B. No more traffic jams. Everything's good. Like, is there going to be kind of like a tourism boom for people just to go drive somewhere? Like, hey, you could go out to the Nevada desert. There's this abandoned city, and you can pay $150 to drive around the city for 1 hour.
Sure.
Because people aren't allowed to drive unless you go to like these touristy areas or like go to a racetrack. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of these things will always be held to intercity only. And then once you get to the surrounding parts, it goes back to normal. It's just that you won't be allowed to enter the city. You'll have to go to basically like you'll have to go to where like the train station is to go from the stuff in your truck. If you're like delivering goods to the city, you'd have to transport them to the edge of the city, go to one of these modern truck station or train stations where you would then reload and distribute through the city somehow. You'd then pull it, as someone said, to the Amazon warehouse in the city.
Yeah.
I don't see any way around it, honestly, and I think it'll happen. It'll just build around the city in a very inefficient way, and that's why eventually I think somebody's going to have to just say, look, we need to build a city of tomorrow for real.
Yeah.
And we need to build it somewhere where people want to live, too. That's the problem with, like, the line. It's this great concept that they're spending a fortune on to put in probably the wrong area because it's going to cost a fortune to run it just to keep it going in that climate, right? You could do it somewhere and get just as much sunlight, but not have to fight off 120-degree weather.
Oh no, dude! Like, no. If you ever look into it, I looked into it. I mean, when I was still in the military and when I was deployed there, because the Saudis would talk about this stuff all the time. Like, they have their 2035 vision, and dude, like, so no, the whole thing is crazy. It's built on the coast, and it's just gonna be like a line through the desert from the coast all the way down. The city is going to be, there's going to be have like on the outside of the city, it's going to be like these giant walls, and there's going to be like solar panels. So like and that's how they generate their electricity, generate their power, and everything is just from these giant solar panels in the wall. And then there's going to be some sort of kind of like roof, but the whole thing's going to be like air conditioned, cooled, where like, everybody, you can just spend the whole day outside and not have to worry about being overheated or anything. Like, every kind of like, it's going to be broken into districts where each district will have a grocery store, mall, gym, whatever. So like, if you don't have to leave like your 2 mile district, because everything's in that district already. So like, unless you want to go visit buddies, it's always, all the way on the other side of the line. Yeah. There you go. That's images. That's some of the images of it right there.
Yeah. Crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly love it in concept. I would, I mean, for me, like, it always comes down to, like, I would be down for something like that, but my first question would be, like, so what is my access to going outside, though? So, like, is there a backdoor road where I can go? What if I want to go on a mountain bike ride, right?
Right.
Like you said, what if I want to go for a drive in a real car? I mean, as much as I'm down for this for, like, 99 out of 100 days, on that 100th day, I just want to put my family in the car and drive to Disneyland, right? So that would be my main thought on that. All right, where were we? Wow, what a rabbit hole. That was the best.
It was a good one.
I think we did Project. Oh, okay, here we are. We were at Endurance Motorsport Series. That's where we were.
No, we did Project Motors Racing.
Yeah. Now we're on Endurance Motor Series. Have you heard of this one?
I have. I'm looking forward to this one too. It's going to be more of an arcadey title, but still, I'm interested to try it. I mean, it's a racing game. Why would you not be interested in trying it out?
Well,
if it's good,
and they're getting the massive BMW love.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, BMW is the slut of sim racing right now.
They are. I love this driving style management where they give it like a F1 pit crew look to it. I like that.
Dude, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Is you don't have to race. Like, you can create a team of drivers, and you could be the team crew chief, team engineer, or whatever, and manage from that console area.
See, and that's why I haven't done it. I have like a 48 or 52 inch TV. It's nothing special. And I was thinking of putting it on the wall right here and plugging it into this computer as a second monitor. Right. Just for the purposes of something like that. Where it's like, okay, I'm going to set it up for a 24-hour race. And I'm going to be working over here on a wheel review. And I'm going to be monitoring and managing my team running on that TV. I think it'd be pretty cool. So anyway, this could be something cool. Here we have a little trailer from them. The BMW Motorsport teaser. I better turn off the music.
You can be more aggressive now.
Just in case they missed my vulgarity and pervertedness. FIA Euro Truck Racing Championship is on sale. Yeah. Almost everything on Steam is on sale. Their Steam summer sale is going on. And even things that aren't at Steam, I've seen some hardware on sale with the same wording, summer sale. So right now is a good time to be buying some gear, perhaps, if you're in need. I mean, don't buy it just for the sake of buying it. It's not like gold.
Right.
All right. Ren Sport. We've given up on that one. Do we need a mirror muffs for Ren Sport?
No, I am at the point where I am indifferent.
What's the word for just what a big giant letdown? What is the word for that?
like David Payne said, hide your wallets when it comes to this title. That's my assessment.
That whole we're gonna be the sim esport, and we got all these big teams, and we control everything, F you everyone, and Rensport. Anyway, game update, early access 1.13, Mercedes AMG sound rework, open setups, enabled community bug fixes. So maybe we should reach out to them and bring them on for a podcast.
Oh, you're gonna have to do that one on your own, because I don't think I'd be very nice to them. No, because to me, like, I hate to be very critical of this title, because I hate being like, I prefer to look at the positives of every title than versus looking at the negatives. Like, I like to be a very optimistic person when it comes to things. And at the point, like, where some of the discussions, like, for example, like some LMU discussions with some, I'm not gonna mention names, but like some of our Discord members, where like I'm very optimistic about it. They're doing this, they're doing that, but but then they bring up the bad stuff, and I'm like, well, dude, like, you can't look at the bad stuff either. You got to look at the good stuff that they're doing. Like, they're only a team so big, but I haven't seen really anything good come out of these guys. Like, this game's been in early access for how long, and they've been doing, oh, look at us guys, we do esports, we got this, but like they still don't have proper triple screen support.
You don't have a game.
You barely have a game. Yeah, like to me, like this is like barely. If you go at the servers, like you'll maybe find 25 people online, maybe at max, maybe max 40. Like, so how are they even getting any money for the continued development of this game? And it's mind-boggling for how long. But anyways, yeah,
It's just kind of dragging.
I don't want. I'm gonna stop before I get out.
I really hope they're gonna back up what they started in the beginning, and I didn't have a whole lot of faith, and I haven't. Hey, it's good to see an update, so maybe there's more to come.
Like I had faith because they talked a really big game, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and this, but like most of it's been empty promises. Like, Anyways,
when I was searching for the word vaporware, was the word I was. Now it exists. Yeah. It exists. I just feel like it's going to stop existing. Is kind of, and it's like, and then it will be vapor.
I think like the big thing for me right now with that title is it's the PC title itself is barely half complete, but yet they're already working on console release for it. Like what? Like your PC title's half done, and you're already like, hey, we're gonna release this on console, guys. Like, what? That makes no sense.
Now, I mean, no offense. It's a bunch of millennials who can't focus on one thing for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's do that. And it's like, sorry, millennial, but that's your reputation. Hey, I'm Gen X. We have our own reputation, right? So, yeah. All right. Rant Sport.
Yeah.
All right. Wreckfest 2. They did a content update. New cars, new tracks. The Coal Train. I'm the Coal Train, man.
Is
music?
a fresh update back with hot crashes and cool
I
fixes.
do have some music. I can't keep
Good
playing
lord, what is that thing?
Has it gotten any better for anybody that's in here? Like, have they updated? Have they fixed a lot of the problems with it, or is it still kind of? Because I really want to give it a try.
Yeah.
But I don't want to waste my time if it's still not good.
I think when they made that one big update, that was just a clear indication that, like, look, we had our cult game that was really awesome, but now we've switched it because we're going after that massive market, and ultimately we want to have that Metal Gear Solid vibe.
Metal Gear Solid?
Remember Metal Gear, the game?
Yeah, the spy game?
No.
I mean Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal, thank you. Metal Gear. Yeah, this is a shooter game, huh? Twisted Metal, that's the one. But yeah, I think they just, decided at some point that it's about sales and not about appeasing this niche group that wants physics, They want crash physics, not driving physics. They want bust through wall.
As long
physics.
as it's fun to drive, like how original Wreckfest was. Like, yeah, I mean, because I miss being, us doing our community Wreckfest races. Like those were a lot of fun.
David says the game is great, force feedback is passable, which kind of puts. I mean, then you play it with the controller, and so yeah. Anyway, so they have an update with this new content, new cars, new tracks, updates to everything, and Wreckfest 2. I'd like to play it. Maybe I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
Is it on? Is it on sale?
Might be. I don't know. It's been out long enough. Maybe it could be.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
Yes, Dirge. Yes, Twisted Metal needs to be brought back as a game. Like, because I watched the first I watched the TV show that came out last year or 2 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And I can't wait for season 2 of Twisted Metal.
It is 10% off.
Okay.
So $26.99 with an update.
That's not bad.
No, I might have to grab that.
Yeah.
I have to go see if I can find a controller.
Yeah.
My controllers, I end up wrapping the cord around it, and then throwing it in a box, right? Which means that periodically I pull a controller out and it doesn't work because the cord's been, like, wrapped too long. I don't take very good care of that stuff.
Right. That's why I ended up buying our wireless. That the wireless part doesn't even work anymore. So.
But that was the problem with my wireless. I lost the dongle, or
Well, no, my control doesn't even stay charged anymore. Like I have to keep it plugged in for it to work.
Oh yeah. No longer wireless.
Yeah.
Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator 1.55 open beta is out for you to test out and try. And they're doing their normal, which is showing off, hey, have you seen this? Because we're working on this update here, part of the Project Scandinavia refresh for Euro Truck 2. We're adding Denmark's second largest city to the map. There you go. There's a hot dog for you. And then we're happy to be working on another rework project for ATS, American Truck Simulator. Route 66 rework project is focusing on recreating key segments in northern Arizona and parts of New Mexico along this iconic route. So that's kind of cool. And they are part of the summer sale, up to 75% off on various stuff, and with lots of updates coming.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What was in? That was a mistaken tab. All right. Fanatic. So I just thought this was kind of funny. How many of you can relate to this? But here's a guy. He's racing, and he's got the stream in the background. And I just thought, especially if you're part of the Simpit, where we often will be streaming our endurance races, how often can you be guilty of watching yourself on TV? Yeah,
or not.
I've done it.
I've done that where I'll be racing, but I have one of the races on my fourth monitor.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. So anyway, that gave me a good chuckle. Also, a little write up out of them. What does Newton meters actually mean on a wheelbase? Now, I don't think they're defining the word Newton meters. We all kind of know what it says it in the name, right? But they're talking a little bit about what the right amount of torque for your rig and your racing style is. So might be worth a read if you're desperate for some sim racing reading content.
I think that's where I think it's very subjective when it comes to how many Newton meters should you have. Like, really, you don't. Yeah, I mean, some people want very strong Newton meters, and some people want some very low Newton meters. I think it's just
AMS or ETS had a release date July 10th for the next DLC. Okay, I might have missed that, Anders. Thank you. I can't remember. Oh, Newton meters. I was doing the test on the Sim Experience AccuForce Extreme, and it's 28 Newton meters. It's a monster. It's huge. I don't remember the exact. And I was doing some full force feedback challenge. Iowa is on July 10th. Thank you. It's hard to keep up with ATS because they usually have like 20 updates per week going on. It is, I mean, well, ATS, ETS. They are the most impressive software group in all of sim driving, we'll call it. But getting back to force feed, I was running it at 100%. And we joke about 100% force feedback challenge. And quite honestly, I think if you're like a halfway physical person, like, you go outside and do stuff, like that's right. That's the amount of physical activity I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going to the gym. I'm just talking about like you have an active lifestyle of some sort. That like 28 Newton meters is not stronger than us. It's not like it's going to flip you over in your rig. It's not like it's going to break your wrists.
I think it would.
I've never felt that way. I feel that if you're holding onto the wheel, you can always overpower that amount of force feedback. And that sometimes it's fun to drive like that for a minute or two because it's like, oh, wow, you can really feel it, right? But then realistically, we also have a certain endurance level we're trying to stay with. Yeah. Any era in real life racing that put too much pressure on the driver to be strong was always a big complaint by the drivers. Like they knew they were not performing well because they were fighting the wheel, fighting the car too much. And so that's usually been changed, with some kind of a assisted steering, to make it so that they're not exerting that kind of force just trying to turn the wheel. So anyway, I don't feel it's all that realistic, because most race cars, for the most part, especially in the modern era, have been sort of massaged to the point where it's not that tremendous effort to drive them. The G-forces, the sustainability of what you're doing is going to be difficult. But the wheel pressure shouldn't be outrageous. So now, and you still might weight train for it because of the endurance factor of being in the car for an hour or two. But yeah, anyway, I find it really fun. So it is, like you said, it's really so subjective. If you really love that huge force feedback, it's probably slowing you down a little bit, because you're probably fighting the wheel harder than you want. You're probably wearing out sooner than you need to. But I get it, because you get so much feedback out of the wheel of what's going on with the car that it's hard to mistake anything. Any hint of oversteer, understeer is instantly felt and noticed.
Yeah.
But there is no right or wrong.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I look at it that way. It's like, if, for example, like if I'm on let's say, I'm using a 5 Newton meter wheel. That's kind of the equivalent of, Halfor. If Halfor, the what's his name? The mountain from the Game of Thrones. Like, to him, like a 32 Newton meter might be just a freaking kid's toy to him. Where I'm like, I'm sitting here struggling with the 32, like, but he's like, whatever. You could do it with one finger.
Yeah. And again, that's coming from the perspective of you're like driving and holding the wheel. I'm not disagreeing that. I mean, like, I've had a Logitech G20 go crazy and spin so fast that if you stuck your finger in the spinning wheel, it would, nearly chop it off, right? So, but I'm just saying, when you're on the grips and holding on, most of us are stronger than 28 Newton meters. That's what I'm getting at. I am. I don't know about you guys. I am. So that's what I'm saying. CXE Nils showed up with the base by your feet and steering shaft. Yeah, and I built one of those too at CXE for a private project, Christian. We did that. I did that to a NASCAR mod that we did. We got a really. We bought some shells that had already been converted into sims, but they were converted back in like CRT monitor days. And so it was like, okay, throw away everything they've done to this at all, and just but they were really good shells anyway. So I wanted to do the same thing. I felt for a proper full in-car sim, you needed to put the base outside of the cockpit and have a steering shaft and a yoke type mechanism, Anyway, Moses having a painting contest. If you want to win some Moses stuff and you like painting cars, you can paint your car, and I think you run in the F4. You can have the details. It's on the website. But yeah, anyway, and they're giving away 200 Moses points, which is like $40. They're giving away $50 coupons, and they're doing monthly prizes between now and December. Winners revealed every 15th.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. Sim Magic has been doing more and more of these, whether it be bringing in real life drivers and giving you their setups for particular games or scenarios, or whether just factory ones. But here they're doing a force feedback setup guide, which is showing you the best that you can optimize the new Alpha Evo wheelbase for Assetto Corsa Evo. Actually, I think it was all games. No, Race Room. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. It's Race Room. So that's cool. That's cool. Good for them.
I think you need a cookie, Sean. You need to bring up your sugar levels up.
Let me get that ice cream. Where's my chocolate chip ice cream?
Well, you haven't crashed, so you can't have ice cream yet. You got to crash first before you can have ice cream.
I still think 12 to 15 is ideal, even though there are times I might want more. But, I think realistically, 12 to 15. I used to say it was more like 9 to 12, but they've brought the cost of the Newton meter down a little bit. So, I think now you can have that 12 to 15 and have the overhead. Because at 9, I think you'll run it at peak all the time and you'll be happy. versus at 12 you might turn it down a little bit at times, and at 15 I
Mhm.
guarantee you're going to turn it down at times.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Hulk like me. All right. Who said short show? Oh, I was just talking about me, Alesh. I wasn't talking about time. I was just talking about me. It's always a short show for me versus it being a tall show for Amir. That's what it. And notice how we have different. I love how I have like the tall head height going now, and you have the low.
I mean, I could.
No, don't
could,
do it.
like-
I love it. It's
No,
like my power
you want,
chair.
you want to be taller than me?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like my
I'll
power
give it to
chair.
you. I'll let
Yeah.
you be taller than me. I was kind of sulking in my chair too. Here we go. I'll sit up straight, kind of like you are. There you go.
Shorter hands need more Newton meters. Leverage in physics makes total sense. Thrustmaster. They have a firmware update for the 598, the T598, their budget direct drive wheel. Improved user interface, better pedal response, new force feedback options, and more. Update now for the best experience. There you go. Cube Controls getting in on the summer sales. 10% discount on it. Also, I noticed they're selling their stickers. And I was just thinking, stickers technically would be interchangeable for the most part. Like they have this little skull. I don't know if that's like a repair button or a quit. They actually have a pit button. I would love to see who made the best stickers because for the most part, a lot of buttons are the exact same size.
Yeah.
So like, if you like the Cube Control stickers, there's no reason they wouldn't work on your wheel.
Right.
Like they even have
most of the
Fanatic.
wheels-
Look, they even have a Fanatic button. Oh no, it's just an F.
Yeah.
It's just an F.
I mean, Fanatic starts with an F. I'm just trying to save you, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you. I did that on purpose. I baited myself. All right, we have
I mean,
some.
it kind of looks like the Fanatic logo, kinda.
We have some Sim Expo announcements. We have some race results from the Simpit Rally League, and then we have some rig stuff to look at, and then that's going to be the end of the show. So we're there. We're at the end here, people. Sim Gaming Expo, September 5th through 7th. If you want to be part of the Simpit race, you got to let us know. We got me, Amir, and Sam. That's 3 of us. We want 15. We need 12 more. I think Brian's coming up. Just waiting on confirmation there.
I believe Carl.
Brandon Carl's coming. Oh, there's another.
I believe we got George Sandman.
George Sandman's
Sam
coming.
Hinchy. Or we already said Sam Hinchy.
Okay.
We got a couple more.
Oh,
I have to go through the Discord to find them.
George is going to be very hard to beat, by the way.
Oh, I'm not even going to bother trying to beat George Sandman.
3 Newton meter per finger. That makes sense.
Terry Sanders, I believe. Is
Oh, Terry's coming. Cool.
Yeah.
Only missing letter T
Brandon,
for Fnatic.
I'm gonna. The other Brandon. Brandon Skinner.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. We're getting there. All right, we need more.
Yeah.
We can do 2 rounds. We can do more than 15 people.
Yep.
All right.
We could all grab some Chicago pizza afterwards too.
That's right. PXN is going to be there. Check PXN. I'm going to give them a little credit. Everyone wants to be like PXN. It's just like SciTech reinvented, right? Mad Catz reinvented. Agreed, and I think that's where they did start. To be fair, their latest wares are starting to get reasonable. So for those coming into the sim racing for the first time, looking for budget stuff, I wouldn't rule out PXN at this point. Because it might be a good entry point into sim racing. Anyway, we're going to be able to check out their newest stuff there at the show. SCS Software, ATS ETS is going to be in the house at Sim Gaming Expo, September 5th through 7th. I would like to go check out their booth. I want to see what they do with that. That's going to be pretty cool. And then Brendan Hyperstar. I believe he's an iRacing esport guy, isn't he? Racer. I think he's iRacing esport.
I believe so.
I think he's like super
remember.
high pro esport level driver. He's going to be at Sim Gaming Expo as well.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for the gaming expo.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
Yeah, dude. Like after George told us in an interview that they're gonna have the F-16 cockpit simulator in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I am so jumping into that one.
All right, Rally Mediterraneo. I have no idea the results. Are we ready?
Let's do it, man. I
Scroll
believe in you.
down. Oh, man, I already saw down to 13th. I'm all the way down to 13th. No points in the single player. I suck. Bloody McGee, Joa, wins the event. This is Rally Mediterraneo with an overall time. This was one of the most treacherous rallies. A lot of people DNF'd on a bunch of stages in this one. It was treacherous. Joa, 48.25 overall time. Fantastic. 42-second margin over Jeff. SMKU coming in second. Caractacus, Andy in third place. Good for you. Alesh Mom, my teammate, in fourth. Max Power in fifth. May Racer, F4H Red Pot, John Hill, seventh place. Spatial Dragon, Tim Chitwood, eighth place. Both of those guys get ahead of Heiko. Heiko Sherman, ninth. SVT WRC, that's 10th place. Sean Cobb, you finished in 11th. You came for the results, 11th. Dirge, you're in 12th. I'm in 13th. Sporkamic, Vintage Dude, David S. in 16th.
Ooh.
Wouter Van Morik, 17th place. Brutal. Overall in the championship, Jeff SMKU with a sizable lead, 177 points. To Caractacus with 125 points in second. Alesh Mom in third with 93. And Heiko in fourth with 92. And PS Deadman in fifth with 90. And I haven't scored any points. I suck. Oh, I have a point. I'm sorry. I have a point. Actually, here. I'm going to scroll down more. Actually, no, I don't. I'm in 22nd. Okay, yeah, we have points. I'm the last person to have scored a point. I'm in last place of the point scoring people. But I will point out, and I want to give huge applause. John Hill, 6 points, 15th place. Tim Chitwood, clown him all you want. Everyone jokes, Tim's last place. The sweeper wagon, Tim Chitwood, 4 points in 17th place. Way ahead of me. Amir, where'd you go?
I'm still here.
Your camera went away.
What? What happened? Oh, for some reason my video crashed. There we go. I should be back.
There you are. Okay.
All right. I don't know, for some reason, yeah, video crashed.
All right, looking to the team championships. Joe Antonio and Scoob. First place, 302 points. Pulling into second place in the team championships, the Simpit Rally team of me and Alesh, 278 points. Caractacus and Wouter Van Morik, WDDF Rally team in third. And David S. and Tom Jones have dropped to fourth place. Ouch. Ouch. All right. Let's see here. We have the LMU Summer League. You guys are going to be at where this week? Oh, no. Well, the Summer League starts on the 29th.
Yeah, starts this weekend.
Oh, that's this weekend. Okay, so, and you guys are going to be at Algarve.
Algarve and the GT3s.
Awesome.
Yeah, excited, man.
And we have a whole spot in the Simpit Discord if you want more information or need help in getting involved, getting part of that. I think I'm not going to make it. I'm sorry, you guys. Sunday's a very important day.
Like, well, to be honest, no, I should be back home by then. I should be back from Spa by then. Yeah, I should be good. Because I think the race ends at 3 or 4. Yeah, I should be back by then.
Yeah, Sean, you and Joa rocked it this week for sure. All right, look at this. This is the upgrade of a Deathmobile and a whole sim racing corner.
Mm-hmm.
This is Devin Booth. He's been working at this. He was out of sim racing for a while, and then it was like a complete start over refresh for him. And if you know Devin, he races down in his basement, and the room has always been kind of a nightmare. No offense, Devin, but
I think you're saying nightmares, putting kind words to it.
But one thing we'll
There you
point
go.
out, Devin pointed this out. I don't, Devin, did you tell me to point this out, or did you tell me please don't? Anyway, I'm all over it. You can see if you smoke in your room and you move pictures on the wall or posters, that their position is remembered. So, anyway, I love that you have the extra hanging wheels. You got a nice hook for your headset. I love that. Those are things that I haven't even sorted out. So very nicely done. Here's another angle of it. Got a button box. He's got a cooler right next to him. I love it.
His guitar amp.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of his guitar doodads and goodies. Your room looks very clean. People clowned him on cable management because it is looking a little funky. These pictures were actually some early on. Actually, you can see things that are starting to improve here on his next level chassis. And then there's the next. And then finally,
Yeah, I'll give him a C- on cable management.
well, no, look there. Look at this one. Wait till you catch up with this one.
Okay.
On this one, I'm going to be like, dude, you can't hold a cigarette on top of your shifter. So I see what I see. Devin races with the cigarette in his hand and his hand on the shifter, racing one-handed. That is his normal driving position. At least that's what his TH8 would beg to say. Nicely done, though. Nicely done. This is a good-looking sim corner. I love it. And the management is all taken care of. So.
Oh, wait, so I'll give guys a tip, like, because I've seen a lot of people with rigs like cable management. It's and I'm not trying to dog anybody or anything, because I hear a lot of people that they just don't know how to cable manage, because sometimes you got long cables, sometimes you got short cables, and things just can't be done like the way you think they should be done. Really, cable management is all about first hiding as much of the cable as you can, and then making everything that's the exposed part look all nice and tidy. So my advice to those that that have like very long cables, and it's hard to hide them when you compare them to short cables, is Amazon sells like these plastic boxes, are kind of like maybe yay big. They're meant for crafting,
Like
but what you
enclosure
could do,
boxes?
like enclosure boxes, yeah, like black plastic enclosure boxes. You can get them for like maybe $10-15, something like that, or even cheaper. Like cut holes on the short sides, or like cut kind of like slots where you can route your cables through it, and all the excess, hide it in that box, wrap it up and hide it in that box, and then just shut the box, either tape it or whatever, and bam, you've got clean cables, and all you got to do is like just put that box somewhere where it's out of view. I mean, that's a very simple, easy way to do it.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always been, I always one cord that's 2 feet too short and another cord that's 4 feet too long. Hey, Amir, so what is the longest, like if you had a wheelbase and your computer is just not that accessible to what is the longest, like let's say you bought really good ones, like high-end, USB cords. What is the longest you would, because most wheelbases don't come with anything longer than a 6 foot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know like what I'd say in feet, because I'm European. I mean, with USB cables, I mean, you could really go pretty far, especially if there's already power.
Would you go 4 meters? Would you go 4 meters on?
Yeah, you could do 4 or 5 meters easy with the USB cable. Because USB has power going through it, so especially if the wheel, you already have power coming to the wheelbase, because your PC is gonna power it too. I mean, you could do maybe 4 or 5 meters, no problem whatsoever.
So that's 12 or 15 feet for you American people.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. So as long as you buy high quality ones, because that's the thing.
Yeah, you need to buy very
high quality ones. Yeah.
Don't buy like the Amazon Choice, or the very cheap stuff. You gotta buy the good cables. Yeah.
Can't remember. There's literally a place that all they do is sell cables. I can't remember the name of them, but
Yeah.
and it's like, and they have like gold level, gold plated ones, and it's like,
Well, because then you also got to deal with EMI. You might have potential EMI issues. Like the more cables you have rolling around and everything, the more potential for EMI you have to, unless there's, you don't have those, what do they call them at the end of the cables that prevents EMI?
Pharaoh.
Yeah, the little Faro things at the end of the cables. If you don't have those, like the longer the cable, and if you wrap it up, like you can cause more EMI issues. So that's why I usually spend good money on cables versus like buy, the crap like Amazon Choice or whatever stuff.
Yeah, same here. Which is why I'm still limping by on some that are shorter than I need them to be. But I had bought some really expensive ones way back when, but then they like got overused, and then I wasn't sure which ones. And I've way too many. I need to like throw away all my old USB wires and just buy like an assorted, like, okay, here's a bunch of 6-foot, here's a bunch of 10-foot, and then like not touch any other USBs. Even when a wheel comes with it, I'm almost thinking it's like, I'm gonna use one of my gold ones, not the one they came with.
Yep.
All right, one more picture, and that's it for today's show. David Payne showing this. I think he got him on Etsy, so he was in the Discord for the seat movers for his rig. And someone was selling these like 3D printed, go in the holes of your seat with a roller to make the seatbelt roll even easier. I thought this was a really cool idea. I don't know if someone makes them for all sorts of seats. I don't know how generic that shape is. But if you're using seatbelt tensioners, I bet that's a lot better than running on friction across the top of the seat holes. So I thought that was kind of cool and worth seeing. And that's why, that is part of the reason when I'm looking at rigs and bringing them on the show, I'm hoping that maybe like in, Devin's booth. Now, I didn't point it out, but maybe you were looking at it like, oh, I see the way Devin did his seatbelts on that rig. I can use that. I am usually doing this for some kind of an idea or motivation or thought process for those out there watching, So yeah, a great shot here, but David Payne's adding, he has shapes for at least the Sparco seats, which you could then probably measure and see if it would fit on your seat. So anyway, well, shoot, I think that's all I've got for today. What about you?
Nothing. I've got to work. This weekend's gonna be pretty jam packed. I also got to finish up. I started work on my interview with Richard from SimLab. So I've been working on that, trying to get that out Thursday, hopefully. I've been running into some computer issues where for some reason Premiere keeps on kicking me off, so I got to figure that out. I think it's my hard drive, because I have my hard drive is going to crap, so I bought a new hard drive. Ooh. So I'm going to try to replace it this weekend and see if that fixes my editing software problems. I'm going to show you guys a little teaser. I'm starting to work on it. I don't think I've showed this to you yet, Sean.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can you guess what this is going to be?
That looks like a display.
Yes. Because I don't know if I haven't really put it all together yet. But then if you put it all together... Whoops. Well, it'd be kind of...
sound, anyone who has a 3D printer knows that sound right there.
Right. So there's kind of like a little shroud thingy.
Nice.
And then kind of like a little bit more of a cover thing to go make it a little bit more forward.
Yeah, so no glare from your lights.
Yeah, that comes onto the dash. It comes onto the dash or anything.
Nice.
That's like, I started 3D printing some stuff. And then once I get everything 3D printed, I'll start making a video on building it too.
Awesome.
Doing a lot of stuff behind scenes, man.
Right on.
Unfortunately, you don't see it, through video, but a lot of
takes time.
Behind the scenes stuff going on.
Things are in the works, meaning that someday you'll see a video.
Exactly.
I have a few of those too.
We got to revive the forever rig competition again.
It's a coming,
We got to
perhaps.
revive it.
As soon as I fix a
Yeah.
few other things around here, I'm finally getting comfortable. So, might have sorted out my space issue. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Well, what a way to start the weekend with the pit stop and talking about everything. And a big news today is, a lot of updates for various different sims out there and a lot of stuff on summer sale. So if you were just looking for that other game, maybe you're a little bored with the sim you play every day, maybe it's a good time to get Wreckfest for 10% off. Maybe it's time to get Race Room for not Race Room, AMS2 for 90% off. You're going to get your money's worth out of that. Plus, they've got some new Aston Martins coming. So, a lot of cool stuff. Get out there and do some racing. Big shout out, thanks, and a good luck to the Simpit racing teams for the 6 hour of the Glen. And we'll give you an update on how they did next week's pit stop. And anybody who is part of the Simpit Endurance team, if you are streaming your race, please post a link to the stream in the main channel. You don't even have to hide it. Go public. Go out there and let people know. Come watch us race so we can all support you. And if you don't, good luck nonetheless. That's going to do it for me. Any more thoughts from you, Amir?
No, just go out there and have some fun sim racing, guys.
Get out there and do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole. That's Amir Assad. And we will see you on the track.
Later, guys.